Hey, how's it going, guys? It's your Retro Future Boy, Ricky Summer here, and today I've come back in time to talk about MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries. And listen, I can't even say the name of the game without getting excited and giddy. This video brought to you by
Chrome Stallions, Armored Mercenary Company. No job is too big.
Alright, so if you're a regular to the channel, you know I'm a big old MechWarrior fiend. I'm a big old fanboy ever since MechWarrior 2 Mercenaries. Listen, that game, man. But that does not mean that I'm just blindly excited for MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries. You know, from what we've heard so far, there are some things that I'm not too crazy about, but not necessarily what you'd expect. So today I'd like to talk about a couple of things that were confirmed in the last AMA. So they have been running an AMA for folks who have pre-ordered the game. Don't judge me! I'd like to share some of that knowledge. So first and foremost, let's get the elephant out of the room here. How'd that elephant get in here? Anyway, so they've changed up the way customization works from MechWarrior Online. So for those of you who don't know, MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries is being developed by the same guys that did MechWarrior Online, and there's been a little bit of, I don't want to say controversy, but a few people are upset with how they've changed the customization system, the MechLab system from MechWarrior Online. So the way it works in Online is you have variants of chassis of mechs. So you, for example, you have a Raven chassis and then like 4 or 5 variants of that, for example, and each one has a different layout of weapon categories. So it's like this many energy points and this many ballistic hard points and so on, and that means that you can put any energy weapon into an energy hard point. So for example, if the mech comes with a medium laser in an energy hard point, providing you have enough room on the mech, you can take out that medium laser and shove in a large laser. Now, if you've got a small mech, you're probably not going to be shoving too many large lasers in it, honey, I can tell you that much. But, you know, it allows you quite a bit of customization and the ability to really rejig what a mech variant is designed for. But as far as I'm aware, that's not actually canon, that's not lore-friendly. Now, I don't want to get into a big gameplay versus lore debate with you, because I'm the first guy who'll say, hey, listen, if it makes the game more fun to play, fuck the lore. But that's neither here nor there. For MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries, they're switching it up. So you still got the chassis with the variants, but this time the variants are set for the most part. So this time you've got, instead of one energy hardpoint, it's one medium laser hardpoint, for example, as far as I understand. So that means if a mech comes with a medium laser, you can't pull it out and shove in a large laser instead. You can take it out and you can put another medium laser. So from what I understand, there's going to be different weapon manufacturers maybe? So you can swap out like a medium laser for a medium laser from another manufacturer and it'll have different stats and whatnot. I'm not sure. If anyone knows for sure, let me know in the comments. Again, we need more information here. I'm thirsty. I'm real. So people aren't happy about this. Look, fair enough. You know, we've gone from having all this customization to having almost none. Now, that doesn't mean we have no customization whatsoever. You can tweak some things here and there. You can add more armor. You can take armor out to put in more ammo, for example. You can take out jump jets. You can take out weapons that you're just not going to use to free up space, to free up weight, to put in more armor or put in more ammo and heat sinks. And from what I understand, what they said today in the AMA, you can put ammo and heat sinks wherever you want on the mech. So if that means that we can put heat sinks in the legs and then stand in a big old puddle and we can sink heat faster and more efficiently, oh, listen. Okay, but what was interesting was the devs said that this was 100% a design choice. This was not a limitation of the engine or anything like that. They want this variant-based system, this locked-in variant-based system, because they feel that it's required for the economy to work the way they want it to. And I can understand that. If you got mech variants the way you do in MechWarrior Online, and you can essentially break the variant. It's like, you get this mech and it says, hey, this mech is for light scouting or something. And you go, nah, I'm going to turn into a glass cannon sniper out of nowhere, right? I mean, that's cool. That's fun, dog. But it does kind of, I can see how that would break the economy. So, you know, fair enough there. But they did say that because it is not a technical limitation, that it would be, and I quote, trivial to mod the game to make customization work more like it does in MechWarrior Online. Yo, that gets me excited, man. That gets me excited if you're able to do some wacky shit. Can you imagine? Like, you've played the game out, you've gone through it a couple times. I don't know how much replayability there's gonna be in the game, but you know, you've had your feel with it, and it's like, hey yo, let's load up with mods and make some fucking wacky ass builds. That's my hot take on it. You know, I'm not too mad about it, not just because of the modding, but I can see how it would enrich the economy to have, you know, mostly locked in builds. You know, you can go to a system and maybe they've got this Raven. I love the Raven, it's one of my favorite mechs. They got this Raven, you go, hey cool, I'll take it because I love the Raven. But it's not really the build, it's not really the variant that I was hoping for, but I'll run it for now until I can find the variant that I want, and then I'll sell it, trade it in, you know, as long as it hasn't got too many miles on it. You know what I'm talking about. I saw someone describe it as, you know, you collect them all. It's like MechWarrior Pokemon. They use this analogy in a derogatory sense, but hey, listen, I like Pokemon. I'm not too mad about it. I'm not too mad. All right, some other really interesting questions that were answered in today's AMA had to do with animations. Someone asked if the bouncy feeling that the mechs have in MechWarrior Online was going to be fixed, and they said, yeah, they're constantly iterating on the animations and making them feel more weighty. I've noticed some people complain in the comments of the footage that they've uploaded so far that the light mechs don't look too fast, and I think that's actually that animation refinement in action. So yeah, listen, we might end up with light mechs that aren't as fast as we're used to from MechWarrior Online, but hopefully, on the whole, Preparation H is going to feel good, and the mechs are going to feel a lot heavier and... oh baby, yeah. Alright, this next one I personally found really interesting because it plays into replayability, which I care about a great deal. So someone asked if you had a set starting mech or if you could choose. Now they were a little bit vague on the details here, but what they said was it depends on your starting faction and your starting location. So I don't know if you can actually choose to align with a faction straight off the bat, or if they just meant you choose a starting location. For example, Marek space or Draconis Combine space or whatever, you know. But there are 5 main factions, great houses, and depending on whose space you start in, you get a different mech that is presumably appropriate to that faction. So that's really exciting. I'm really happy about that. It means I can replay the game at least 5 times with a slightly different beginning, which is fantastic. Hopefully one of my favorite mechs will be in the lineup, maybe a Vindicator or something. Listen. Alright, next up, this is another one that I find really interesting. As a huge fan of light and medium mechs, let's get into it. So someone asked if you will be forced to go up in tonnage the further along you go in the game. So what this means is, as the game gets more difficult, will you be forced to run heavy mechs, assaults, as a matter of course? The answer was kind of yeah, unfortunately. So they haven't got any hard and fast limitations, meaning that you've got a hard mission and it doesn't say, yo, you can't take a light or you can't take a medium. It doesn't lock you out of the decision. But they said, look, you're kind of expected to run heavier lances. You know, the further along you go in the game, the harder the missions get. But if you want to try and run some mediums, go for it. And good luck. Essentially, listen, it's good that we're not being forced to up our tonnage as we go through the game, but I kind of wish it was viable to run a lance of mediums like the whole way through. And you know what? Maybe it is. Maybe it will be viable if you're a really good pilot, and we don't know how the upgrade leveling up system works for your lance, for your AI crew members, your pilots, you know? We don't know how that works, if they will eventually get good enough that you can run a full lance of mediums or something against lances of heavies and assaults. We don't know. But look, so I'm kind of iffy on that. I'm kind of 50-50. Glad that they're not forcing heavier tonnage onto us, but I wish it was a little more balanced for the light guys. And last but certainly not least, someone asked how many mechs there's going to be in the game. They said around 250, with 50 or so chassis, and if you do the math, around 5 variants per chassis. Now, I don't know if that means that maybe some chassis will have a few more variants than others. I think that's how it works in MechWarrior Online. So, hey, that's pretty cool. That seems about comparable, I think, to the number of Inner Sphere mechs in MechWarrior Online. Of course, Online has a few more mechs because it has the clans as well. And as a little bonus thing here, I've heard a few subtle rumors regarding whether clans are ever going to make it into MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries, and today it sounded like a definite if they do DLC, yes. Okay. So there you go, there was a lot more said in the AMA today, but those are the things that kind of really spiced me up and got me excited, some things that I really was glad to hear about. So let me know in the comments, guys, what do you think of all this? Specifically and especially the limitations on customization. Are you very much for the way they did things in MechWarrior Online? That's understandable, you know, more options are usually better. Or are you fine with it? You like, nah, let's go full lore friendly with it. Give me some limitations and let me collect them all Pokemon style. Let me know, guys. Honestly, I could go either way. I'm not too mad about the way they're doing it, but if they want to turn around and say, hey, yo, you know what? We'll give you full customization. I'm not going to be mad about that either. So thank you guys very much for watching. Taste the game, be excellent to each other, and I'll see you next time. Ricky Summer, out.